Hello, this is Phyllis Wilson here for my daily moments, which is the first one for this week. But I wanted to come on here and share with you about friendships. And I wanted to share about friendships because there are some things that came up around me and with someone that was close or is close to me. And it came up about friendships. And the conversation was, are there boundaries and limitations that need to be set in friendships? Or should there be some unspoken boundaries that would not have to be discussed in friendships? My answer to that is yes, to both questions. Yes, there definitely are some boundaries that have to be set in friendships. And yes, there are some boundaries that should not even be discussed. It should just be automatically understood not to cross those boundaries, not to go beyond, and not to do the most, as they would be saying nowadays. But at any rate, yes, there definitely is some boundaries that should never be crossed. There should be no fine lines to where no one within the friendship, whether it's you or the other person and someone else that may be friends to them, that know you because you're mutual friends to this person, whatever the dynamic is in any scope of forming the friendship, there should never be any fine lines to not have to figure out, is this a line I shouldn't cross, or have we ever discussed it? And if we haven't, then it must be okay for me to cross. No, there are some things that definitely should not have to even be discussed, but should be automatic. I don't want to say common sense, because to some people, common sense is just not common sense, or they don't know what common sense really looks like, what it is, or how to utilize common sense in our reality. But in friendships, there are just some things you just don't cross. Anything pertaining to the parents, father or mother, in your friendships should never cross the boundaries where your friend think it's okay to go beyond you when it comes to communicating to a parent, whether it's your parent, a significant other's parent, whether that's your friend's parent, even if you are on good terms with that parent. Whatever lines of communication, especially when they're not authentic or when they don't have the best interest in heart, in mind of the parent or of your friendship, it should never be crossed. Like, as an example, you should never take your friendship for granted or devalue it by bypassing your friend to try to connect with their parent, father or mother, that is not with good taste and good context. There should be no underlying around the way you're going about doing things to eliminate them from the equation, them meaning your friend, from the equation when it comes to you making direct contact with the parent, whether it's their parent or their significant other's parent, or even if it was your parent. There is no way that they should go around the mutual connection with that parent or with that older brother or sister. There should not be a workaround to bypass you with them trying to communicate with that other individual that's not directly connected or friends with them, because that sends the wrong message. It sends the wrong message to your friend. It sends the wrong message to their parent or older sibling or even a younger sibling. It sends the wrong message. It's not the right look. It's not speaking to your character as a person in the right way. And it also leaves room to question your friendship and your motive. Even if you feel that your motive is pure, it might be distasteful to your friend and to that parent or that older or younger sibling that you have worked around to get to. And which also means that for me, social media is definitely a good thing and a bad thing. Even having contact with somebody with their phone number is a good thing and a bad thing. Texting is a good thing and a bad thing, because it's all in how you utilize the technology and the accessibility that the other person has or is at your disposal. But if you're bypassing your friend, you, my friend, have overstepped your boundary as a friend. So then that raises the question about how strong is our friendship, or how real or authentic is our friendship? How valuable am I to you, or that person to you as a friend? That if I do this, or you just simply didn't care or didn't weigh your options. If I do something out of the context of my friendship, where does that leave my friendship? Because my parents, especially my father, was always good for saying what's done in the dark comes to the light. And whatever you do in the dark, guarantee you some light will shine upon it. Whether it's 2 weeks, the next day, a year from now, whatever you've done behind your friend's back, it's going to come back and bite you. Because nothing done in the dark stays in the dark. Why do you think we don't have day and night at the same time? Day is when it's light outside. Night is when it's dark outside. But the two never intersect or connect together because they can't dwell at the same time. They cannot be in the same time period or in the same space, because there's a time and a place for everything. And then there's some things that simply should not exist or even cross your mind to go over the boundaries, whether they are fine line boundaries, whether they're boundaries that were discussed, or just simple common sense, unspoken, because some things that don't need to be explained. It's self-explanatory. It's obvious, out of respect, out of acknowledging that you do have a friendship with that person and that you don't want to mess up your friendship. So how valuable are your friendships? That's a question that you need to ask yourself. And think about what fine lines or what lines or boundaries you may have pushed back or stepped over that you should have never crossed. Because I tell you, once you've crossed those boundaries, it's very hard, if at all possible, for you to go back to the same level of friendship that you had with that person. Because now they're going to be raising their eyebrows and watching you because you've messed up the trust. Your character has been tarnished, all based upon you overstepping your boundary.